Welcome back to the second half of the afternoon session of the Design Leadership Forum. I'm very happy to introduce Professor Peter Childs, bright and early from the UK. He's co-director of the Energy Futures Lab and Professorial lead in engineering design at the Dyson School of Design Engineering in Imperial College, London. He's a fellow of the Royal Academy of Engineering. He's also a founder, director, and chairperson at QBot Limited, a robotics company specializing in robots for applying for underfloor thermal insulation. And he's also director and chairperson at Blade BUG Limited, specializing in hexapod robots for wind turbine inspection and maintenance. His topic today is enterprise by design. Hello, Professor Childs.
Hi there.
Hi, nice to meet you.
It's a great privilege to be involved with you.
Yep, the stage is yours, and we'll have a discussion after. Let's welcome Professor Childs.
I'm really looking forward to presenting to your leadership forum on design entrepreneurship. And we're all engaged here because design is a fabulous topic. So today I'm going to present on a little bit of context, why I'm presenting, why I'm interested, and then talk about creativity and design, two wonderful subjects, something that I think nearly everybody in the world is interested in. We consume design and we're all creative. And then looking at the subject of business and commerce, you can see I've had fun with my C's this morning or today for this presentation. And then in particular, look at how we design businesses. And that's probably the focus of what I want to talk about, letting our idea inform the business model and letting the business model inform our idea, and then pull it all together. So just a little bit of context, I'll get these all up. I'm coming here with the premise that all 7 billion of us are creative. It's very much a trait of each and every person. I actually think that creativity extends beyond people, but all sorts of animals, predators, the big mammals display creativity as well in various forms. And I think creativity is important. It makes our lives joyful. It can contribute towards society. Of course, we do live in a challenging and changing world. So I would suggest that also creates a demand for creativity. You very kindly gave an introduction to me, and like so many academics, I have a number of roles. I'm a professor at Imperial. I was the founding head of school for the Dyson School of Design Engineering for 6 years. Great privilege to be involved in that. I'm also professor at large for the Innovation Design Engineering program, which is run by the Royal College of Art and Imperial. And I have various positions around the world, including delightfully at Guangdong University of Technology in China, where I'm an advisor professor and heavily involved. And as mentioned, I try and practice what I preach. I do design. I do business. So I'm chairperson of the board of directors at both Blade Bug Limited and QBot Limited. And I've chosen to put a few of my designs up or a few of the designs I've been involved with up on the screen. So I've done lots of engine components over the years. I helped run a knitwear business in Peru for 6 years. So you can see one of our jumper designs there. And I've been involved in all sorts of medical product design over the years. And what you can see is a ventilator for premature babies. I've mentioned the Dyson School of Design Engineering. And you can see our building here. The Dyson Foundation very kindly gave us a very significant donation to set up, to buy this building and set up the school. But we're now an autonomous design engineering school at Imperial. Delighted to call ourselves the Dyson School of Design Engineering. And like every university, we are engaged in producing the innovators and change makers and new knowledge of today and tomorrow. And we do this through the domain of design engineering, which we refer to as the fusion of design thinking, engineering thinking, and practice within the culture of innovation and enterprise. Should you ever be in London, do come and visit us. We're prominent. We're just next door to the Science Museum in South Kensington. So a very central location, great for design shows and for engaging in the business community. One of the programs that we run within the school is the Innovation Design Engineering Programme. This is jointly run by the Royal College of Art and Imperial, and the Dyson School of Design Engineering is the Imperial host for this. And this has actually been going for a long time. When we set up the school, we pulled this degree programme in. And it's well known for promoting student-generated ideas and projects, and it's been very successful. And in describing the programme, I often just use 4 Ps. I talk about precision, that the students tend to engage in precision analytics, whether that's using engineering tools or whether that's using Google Analytics and doing sort of heavy lifting of data analysis and data mining. We tend to have a focus on people, designing for people. Of course, with modern products, not everything is for people. Sometimes it's for systems. So we've widened that to designing for stakeholders. And we prototype using physical and non-physical prototyping. Indeed, when we look at the types of prototyping we use, we probably use about 13 different types of prototyping. And the program is very much progressive with purpose. So just a little bit of context. With my agenda, I said that I would talk about these delightful topics of creativity and design. And just a rhetorical question for you to think about for a moment. When do you get ideas? Where do you get ideas? How do you get ideas? Just ponder that for a moment. Well, of course, we get ideas all the time. We get ideas in bed or sleeping, in the bath or the shower, on the bus or traveling, in boring meetings and boring lectures. Hopefully, I'm not boring you today. And these collectively are known as the Bs of creativity. And there's something in common between them. And the commonality in terms of the neuroscience and the psychology is that these are associated with our most relaxed state, and the state in which our subconsciousness is able to communicate most effectively with our consciousness, that our working memory is able to access our long-term memory, if you wish. This is in contrast to when you are concentrating. When you're concentrating, all sorts of neuroinhibitors kick in order to enable you to concentrate. Concentration is fantastic, and we need it for getting stuff done that we know how to do, but it's not so effective for coming up with ideas. So you will have heard the common advice and guidance for when you want to generate ideas, that you need this mix of relaxation, as well as relaxation to come up with the ideas, concentration to elaborate on the ideas. Whilst I'm talking about creativity, I thought I would go back to the past a little bit and just say that the traditional inventor approach, what I'm showing you here is Neil Barron's work with Lightlock. The traditional inventor approach is as valid now as ever. Neil really does sketch. These are his sketches, and he's come up with this world-class Lightlock, the Lightlock product, even able to resist attack by the most aggressive and innovative of lock breakers, if you wish. And the inventor approach, you come up with your bright idea, you do your sketches and calculations as appropriate, look at it or evaluate it. If you don't like your sketches, you go back and develop them a bit more. A really great process and works very effectively. This is the 21st century, and more systematic approaches are available. This is a skewed V diagram, an update on the classic V diagram, but recognizing time resource, and you can follow the links if you wish. The shading is showing how the resource that we tend to apply in our businesses increases dramatically as you go through. So some of the phases like conceptual design may only have 20 person weeks on it, whereas something like production and release planning may have 20,000 person weeks on it. Okay, moving through my agenda. So we've looked at some context, looked at the delightful subjects of creativity and design. Moving forward onto the realization of ideas. I often talk about creativity as imagination with responsibility, or the ability to invent something new of value. Design can be regarded as the transformation of an existing state to a preferred state. Innovation, highly linked with commerce, can be regarded as the realization of value from creativity. So let's take a look at innovation and commerce. I've got a few examples just from our stable of graduates, people who've come up with a bright idea and then taken it forward into the world of commerce. Safety net is a brilliant example, using light and sound technologies for these gadgets. You attach 10 or 20 to the trawler nets to reduce bycatch, so that you are targeting a specific species, so you do not haul up damaged and unwanted fish stock. You leave it in a healthy environment so that it can continue to breed and be part of our biota. Highly innovative. I regard this as breakthrough technology and a breakthrough business. Do check out Safety Net if you're interested. Another one, non-physical in this case, the Curio app. We're busy, and what Curio do is that they provide high quality online, high quality audio content whilst you're on the move, so you can listen to your favorite news stories or comment analysis whilst you're on the move and just got 5 or 10 minutes. But it's all about the high quality voices, high quality narration, content selection. Very, a great business, and rightly deserve their hundreds of thousands of customers. The world of design always moves on, and I love the tools that we use, and Gravity Sketch are at the forefront of this. Why are we still driving CAD with mouses? Oh no, it has all moved on. Gesture controlled, use of headsets, and Gravity Sketch are dominating and pioneering in the animation, film and car industry with their software. Such fun, such a delight to see the tools that we are using in the generation of form moving forward. Farewell is a business. Dan Garrett set it up in 2015-16, and enabling people to declare their end-of-life wishes. And he started out, with that thought. He's a young man just going, why do people like me, my friends, not have a will? And he overcame the initial challenges, including challenges from academics who were not receptive to his ideas as a student. And just a challenge we have in universities. We are really good at some aspects of knowledge advancement? Are we good at creativity? Are we good at assessing whether a business idea is a good idea or not? Ladybug is a contemporary business doing large hexapods. These are hexapod robots, sort of that kind of length and width. And you deploy these onto a stationary wind turbine blade. So you stop the wind turbine, place the robot on the wind turbine blade. It will then trundle or walk like a giant insect over the wind turbine blade, doing inspection, repair, and maintenance. And this is for our offshore wind turbines. We have thousands of these in the UK, in the Channel, and in the North Sea. Of course, you've got thousands of these in China. So, contemporary business doing a very necessary task. Lots of machine learning, lots of machine vision, lots of AI, advanced robotics. And it's cobotics. It's working with people. It's working with the rope-assisted technicians, getting the job done. And then something that you may not have been expecting to see today, the cityscape in London or in Coventry or Brighton, where I live. We have thousands, millions of these terraced houses. These houses will last 500 or 600 years. They're actually really nice. You can see one on the right-hand side. They're really nice if you can sort out the heat transfer. And if you own one of these houses, one of the challenges is the floors. They are uninsulated, and so they are leaky, and the buildings can be very cold and drafty, even damp. And the traditional approach is to pull up the floorboard and put in insulation boards. But that's very disruptive and can be a couple of weeks of work and very expensive. I'm going to show you a contemporary approach, company that we set up a number of years ago called Qbot. We do little robots, smaller robot this time, which you feed in underneath the home, and it sprays thermal insulation. I shall let Dana tell us about this little video.
My name's Dana Cavell, and I'm the robot manager here at Qbot. Here at Qbot, we build robots for the construction industry. This here is Annie. Annie and our other robotic friends are used to apply underfloor insulation to suspended timber floors. A team of installers will arrive at your property, they will get out the spray equipment, they will then make an access hatch within the property, they will attach the spray equipment to Annie and stir her into the void. She will then survey the area, and then we will go through and perform the insulation. We then measure the depth and thickness of the insulation to ensure job well done. A lot of energy is wasted within the UK by heating old, poorly insulated properties. If we insulate the 8 million properties within the UK with suspended timber floors, it's the equivalent CO2 savings of shutting off 2 power stations. At the moment, Qbot is working with local authorities and housing associations, but the plan for the future is to deliver this service to everyone across the UK. Then the world. Is that too creepy? That's not going to be it, is it?
Thank you very much, Dana. And just an example of a business that's making it, which leads me well into the topic of commercial design. And I'm going to talk about business models, and it's a long list. And there are just so many standard business models that we have. And some common examples are distributor, retailer, bricks and mortar, e-commerce, nickel and dime businesses, freemium and subscription businesses. The list goes on. Data selling, affiliate marketing, peer-to-peer, blockchain businesses, everybody's favorites. And then software as a service, infrastructure as a service, anything as a service. I showed you Qbot, which is really robots as a service. And lists like this, and I typically use a list of 40 business models, are really powerful lists. They remind you, you can spend an entire lifetime investigating and researching each and every type of business. Having a good overview of standard business models, I think, is incredibly helpful. When you're designing, you can think forward to how you might engage with the marketplace. And I mentioned earlier about letting your thinking about a business model inform your design and letting your design inform the business model. None of the business models are ever, when implemented, or rarely are they ever purely implemented. There are hybrids. There are new business models. We are innovating all the time. And you can pull two of these together or several of these together and implement them in a unique manner. So this notion of being on top of the traditional business models as listed here, being willing to morph them and change them and adapt them, being willing to let the business model inform your product, system, service, or platform design, and actually change your thinking around your idea, I think is so important. You're looking for the linkage between your idea and your marketplace and allowing changes to occur. And this is just something that really is the focus of what I wanted to say today. And I'm sure we all get it and we'll go, oh, that's obvious. We do that already. Well, great. And this is just a facet that I see in terms of entrepreneurs who do it time and time again successfully, is that they allow the business model to inform the design and the design to inform the business model. I've talked a bit about, well, big subjects: creativity, design, innovation, and commerce. In creativity, we do make use of many different approaches. None of these are to displace our natural and innate creativity, but to add to the creativity you already have. So a long list here. Indeed, we use about 40 or so approaches. And it is the 21st century, so of course we use AI. And an example from a few years ago is the B-Link software available. You can just follow the link, put in your email, and then have a go with this. So it's just data. It data mined millions of journal papers in order to make sense of whatever input you give it, and then create these maps that look a bit like mind maps in front of you, but are there in order to inspire linkages and to allow you to explore an idea space. Simon DeWolf set up Patent Inspiration, really impressive data mining software for exploring the patent space. And it does these beautiful heat maps of IP protection. But what's interesting about these maps is the areas that are not protected. Something that we have pulled together over the last few years has been the Creativity Diamond, a framework with its faceted shape in the middle, reminding us that there are many approaches to creativity. The decode is on the right-hand side for this graphic for what each of those initials stand for. And to go with this are sets of cards, if you wish, which will run through each of the techniques to prompt you. But perhaps more powerful are the tables, giving an indication of whether the approach is good for whether you're working on your own or in a group, whether it's introvert or extrovert aligned, whether there's an AI version available. If you're interested in these things, then these topics, there is a massive online open course available on creative thinking techniques and tools for success. Okay, So let's draw things together. I would say that creativity and the realization from creativity are enabled through design, and these are topics which have been well explored. Design is an embracing topic, and every designer and your own practice will say that it touches every subject area. And something that I've put forward to today, and you'll tell me that it's obvious and that you already do it, in which case, fantastic, is that it is vital to let design inform the business model and for the business model to inform your design. And that enhances your chances of success and indeed realization of value, be it societal or financial. I've also majored on creative approaches, and we need these in order to face the challenges that are in our world. And I've also presented to you the Creativity Diamond framework as a framework for prompting approaches, just to remind us really that there are additional approaches that we can utilize. And if you're interested in that, we have actually produced a set of cards just running through. These are a set of 26 cards, just running through all the different approaches implicit within the Creativity Diamond. And if you're interested in receiving a set of those, then drop me a line with various bits of information and we'll have a dialogue and get a set of those out to you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was my presentation. Thank you very much indeed for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Childs. I'm certainly interested in those tools and resources that you've introduced us. So.